Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I decided to show you how I design a page in Design Space. Um, I always do my layouts in ahead so that everything fits and I'm not cutting things the wrong size and wasting paper. So when I prep my pages, I pick my background and then I put the two sheets, one at the back, one at the front, with my photos on the front that I'm using for the page, and any other papers that I've chosen are in between. So I have chosen, because I look to my photos for inspiration. So there's a moose on here, and so I decided to go with because I didn't have moose paper, but this is a Christmas page, I decided to go with the reindeer. So I'm doing a reindeer theme and the buffalo plaid because all these gifts are in buffalo plaid. So I lay out my papers beside me and place my photos on them. And then I start to play around in Design Space. Now, I don't, because I like to design on a bigger screen, I spend a lot of time doing it because I scrap so much. I I use a TV for my monitor, and so there isn't a camera on it, so I can't click the button to show you um, my screen. So I'm going to have to do it. I'm trying to set up, I have a video camera set up here beside me, and that's the way I'm going to try and do this. Okay, so the first thing I do is I pick a background. And these are, I clicked on shapes. These are the shapes that are offered for in Design Space. So I'm clicking on the square, and this is the background for my paper. I picked it's almost a black paper. It's a charcoal, and it has a little gold house on it. So I'm going to reduce this to 75% size so that I can see and make this 12. So I click on there, it's 12. Now I'm going to pick the color, and then I want, because I do a website, I try to encourage people to use printed and patterned papers because to me they just take your scrapbooking to a whole new level. So I will put a background on this so that people will remember to do that. On my website, I post the Design Space links for all my pages. And so I am now going to click on Images, and I'm going to search for background. I'm not a typist, so I'm very slow. And I only want draw. So I'm going to click there, draw only, and that will give me fine little backgrounds. I'm just going to scroll through these till I find something that's not too busy, because the one I'm using isn't. This is good. Won't be too big. This is probably better. It's not, so I'm going to delete that one and add this to my canvas. Okay, I'm going to change the color of that so it shows up. On my paper it's gold, but this ink will show up about that color. I'm just trying to create an impression for people. There. Now I'm going to group that up there and duplicate it. So now I have my background papers. There we go. So the next thing I'm going to do is look for a frame for my photos. So I'm going back to Images, and I'm going to type in frame. Oh, I have to get rid of that. There. Alrighty, so I can scroll through these forever, but I have an idea of what I want to use. And it happens to be, right here is image sets. So if you click on this, you can type in the name of a cartridge and find the cartridge. So, or a word that's in the name, and I want elegant edges. It's a frame of borders and, or a cartridge of borders and frames. So I'm going to just type in edges and elegant edges. Here it is. So if I click on this, there we are. Now I'm going to look for the frame I have in mind. It's it's a rectangle. Now I'll tell you, if while you're scrolling through these, here's a rectangle frame, and this is a rectangle shape, but it has an oval. But if you pick the filled in one, it will have a shadow on your, when you go to cut it out, there will be a shadow feature as well. But if you click this one, there won't be a shadow. There'll just be these two layers. So I always pick the filled in ones because I want the shadow. I like shadowing everything. All right, where's my frame that I want? Ah, here it is in the open, and I want it in the closed, and so I'm going to check on what they call it, bird rectangle. So if I type in bird, it will search this cartridge for all the matching bird ones, and I can, here's the filled in one right here. So I can click on that and enter that. Now I happen to know from using it doing this so many times, that 9 inches will give me a frame for a 5x7. And I'm going to get rid of the bird and open up the shadow. So I'm going to make this red, and the shadow I'm going to make in the craft color, in the beige, because that's the color of the reindeer. Now both of my photos are horizontal, so I'm going to turn them around, and now I can duplicate this. Now I have 2 frames. I'm going to put a shape, get another rectangle, and make this 5x7 to make sure it's going to fit properly. There we have 5x7, and I'll just make that black, and I'll duplicate it. Well, I thought I did. There we are. Okay, so now I have them. Now I can group these, and then I can move them around the page easily. And that's all in one. I should have done that before I duplicated it. There we go. All right, so now I want to use my reindeer paper on here. So this red is going to be the buffalo print that I want to use. So the paper that I chose, this buffalo check, and I want to use this rainbow or reindeer paper. So I am going to do a border along the bottom here. So I'm going to go to images and back up. Now I'm going to type in sand because there's a perfect image. Oh, I'm not in all images. Here it is. I use this. I like to use Kiwi Lane on my pages a lot, and so I just use this to represent it, and then I pick the ones I want when I'm going to make the page. I don't cut these out. They're not, I just like the Kiwi Lane better. Okay, so let's make this 12 and 3. There we go. And it happens to be in, well, the background is a good color. This I'm going to make white because the background of my reindeer is white. And now I'm going to duplicate that for the other side. And if I flip it, flip horizontal, they'll line up and it'll flow. All right, so now I decided to do a reindeer theme on this page. So let's see if we can find some reindeer images that I like. What's going on? Oh, it's just very slow today. Well, he's cute. I just go through them until I find, oh my gosh, is he ever cute? Actually, this I really like. So what I'm going to do is view image sets. And that takes me to the cartridge that comes from. And there he is. Now I'm going to see, this looks like a boy. I'm going to see if there's another reindeer that kind of, it'll match. Here it is, a girl. And so it'll match. They'll have the same look. So I'm going to add that to my, oh, they're cute. Very tiny. How cute is that? Enlarge those. Oh, they're just adorable. Okay, so this little reindeer, I'm going to keep this and put it small on here. I do this to remind people when they're copying my pages to use a patterned paper. So if I lower this and put this little reindeer here, I can group this, and when they close the eye, like they can't cut it because it's 12 inches. Well, they could with a 24-inch mat, but it's going to give them, most people close the eye over here like that, and it disappears when they're going to make the page. So the background too, they'll click on this and close it, and then cut out only the images. So I just do that so that, to remind people to use pattern papers. And I am using my reindeer paper here, so I am going to also, on this reindeer, I'm going to duplicate him and put another one over here. So I'll lower that, put him here, and group that. Once you group something, it goes to the front. So now I have to move this, arrange, send to the front. Arrange, send to the front. Well, I'm thinking that's getting cuter by the minute. Loving. Oh, it needs a shadow. It's not going to show up on all this dark, these dark antlers. And this is too much the same color as the background paper. I'm going to have to pick out another paper for this craft looking. I'll find a craft paper that I'll use. But this needs to be shadowed. So I am going to click on the offset, and that's way too big. So we'll shrink that, moving this dot down. There we go. Now I hit apply, and I don't want that shadow to be black. I want it to be white. So now I'm going to group them so I can move them all together. There we go. And that shows up a lot better. So let's do the same with this. Now when I click offset, it will create a shadow the same size as the one I've used, because it's the same project. So every shadow that I create will be the same size on this project. Anyway, now I have to group these. And there we go. Oh, I'm liking this. This is really cute. So the other thing I wanted to do is there is a moose on that page in the photo. So I did want to look for a moose to see if I can find one. Oh, why is this happening? Aha. All right, I'm just going to look for a simple moose silhouette. Here's one with a flourish. Here it is. I think I'll use that one. All right, I'm going to flip him to face the other way. All right. Now I have to fix the color. So I want him to be brown. And the flourish, he has a shadow. I'm going to make his shadow. Well, that's fine. But this, if I close that, it'll be a black flourish. All right. So I have a little moose. He'll just wander in the background somewhere. But he's not showing up too well. Let me find, I think I'm going to look for a doily type image and something to put behind him to show up. All right, let's find one. That's a good one. It has space for me to put the moose on. It's going to be very intricate though for the small size I'm using. Okay, I think I'm going to go with this one. It's not as intricate. Okay, I'm going to make that doily white. I'm going to put it here. It's a little big. Okay, if I put that there, now I'm going to arrange, send to the back, arrange, move forward, and I have to keep moving forward until it is in front of the frame. There we are. And I can fit the moose on there. Now he shows up nicely. All right. Now, it would be good to have some kind of a title on this page. Maybe I can move these over. All right. Let's look for a title. I'm going back to all images. It doesn't. I'm going to put Christmas in here. See what comes up. I just scroll and scroll until I find something that I really like, or that'll fit in the shape that I need. Huh. I can spend hours doing this. Where? Oh, there's an ornament. That's nice. Come on. Boy, I have slow internet. And I have fiber optic. I don't get it. Come on. Move it. I do have, I just thought of one I'd like, and I know what it says. So maybe it'll be quicker if I just type in what it says. I think I will. I'm going to type, I think it says jolly or hot. Let's see. Aha, here it is. There it is in one, just one layer. Here it is in two. I'm going to pick this one and add that to my canvas. All right, so if I can see it better here. I'm going to make the top, all the dark red, into the bright red that's already being used, and the bottom into white. There we go. All right, now I need to shadow this. So I'm going to click offset. Well, that's funny. It came out quite large. Usually they all come out the same size. Now I have to hit apply. Oh, didn't group them. So now I have to arrange, no, align, center, and now group. There we go. All right, you know what? I'm thinking this is looking better where the moose is. Yes, I like that. And now if I put him there, I have to flip him around facing the other side. There, because everyone should be facing towards the center in the photographs and in your images. So I'm liking this. I can move this up so that it's not so, the only thing is it's off balance now. There's a lot more white on the left-hand side than there is, whoops, on the right-hand side. So I need some white over here. So I might duplicate the white, the doily, and see what that's like up here. If I push this behind, arrange, send to the back, move forward. There, oh, that doesn't look good. It's not, it would be better if it were more like that, centered on it, but there's not enough room. So that's not going to work. Let's get rid of that. I think I'm going to look for maybe a snowflake is white. I can look for a snowflake border. So let's get rid of that. I'm going to go back to all images only because this morning it doesn't seem to be working. Oh. Snowflake. The simpler the description you use in Design Space, the better. snowflake border. Let's find a border that's not going to be, it's going to be cut quite small. I like this one. There we go. Okay, this is going to be cut quite small, so I didn't want something too intricate. Let's make that white. And turn this around. Maybe I can just make that a little bit smaller. Now, you see how this balances the page more? There's white on both sides, almost in an equal proportion. So, I think I'm liking this. So now, all I have to do is save my page. So I just save it, and this is, I'm going to call Reindeer by Pat Skeets. Whoops. Me and my Cricut, whoops, .com, and then I always put a code at the end. Because this is a Christmas album, I put a C, and it's Christmas Album 8, so that I will know where to find this page. If I need to, I can just type in my search on my projects for C8, and all the pages I've done for that album will be together. I use EL for everyday life, and then the number of the album, or TR for travel, B for baby, H for Halloween. And so that's just my quick little code to finding my layouts easily for myself anyway. So there's my page. I hope you enjoyed this. I love this little page now. So happy scrapping and Merry Christmas if you're watching this around Christmas time. Thanks for watching. Subscribe below.